Hi everybody, welcome to my loft on this May 4th, 2026. I'm Rusty Blackwood and I'm here to do a Mother's Day video and also a promotion for my upcoming prequel to my autumn series, Before the Grandeur, the Making of a Horsemaster. I've got the overhead light on here, so I hope it's not making me look too spookified. And so I'm just going to do a quick model today of what I'm wearing, which is very much in keeping with the equestrian series that I have done. This is sort of like a female version of a jockey's outfit. With, I'd like to turn this down just a little bit so you can see my riding boots. I think you can see them. They're chestnut brown in color. Flat sole, maybe with half an inch of a heel under the heel part. My riding breeks are chestnut leather. And my blouse, which would be a jockey silk, is very, as they say, a very feminine take on what a jockey would wear. I think I will turn the overhead light off and not see such a glare. Excuse me. As they say, the blouse is satin. It is a champagne brown or taupe. It's gathered at the sleeves, like the cuffs are sheared, as well as the bottom of the bodice, and it just ties at the neck, very, very, very loose, very flowing. If you were on the back of a horse wearing this, it would make a wonderful image as spectators would watch the silk flutter in the wind as the horses ran, and the faster they ran, the faster the flutter. So, now I'm going to take you, bounce you possibly, over to my set. Oh, that went smooth today. Sometimes it doesn't always go that smooth. Let you come to rest there while I rearrange my poor autumn series here so that you can sort of see it from the glare from the skylight. I think you can sort of see. I don't want to cut the light on that skylight too much, because then it makes it a little too dark. And I think you can see pretty much. You know what the series looks like anyway. And I have my Before the Grandeur, the Making of a Horsemaster. This is a copy of the cover. And this, I'm very, very pleased to say, is been submitted to production. So it is now in production and will be coming back to me. The galley of it will be coming back to me, I would think, within the next couple of days, for me to begin my last revision on it before it goes to actual publish. And so I'm very, very, very pleased about that. And this book has been so very, very long in the making. I believe I started writing this prequel in the middle spring of 2023. if memory serves me. It was right after I had published Return to Autumn Part 2. And I just wasn't ready to let Cyril Landon go. I wanted to talk a little bit more about him, and because he has become a very favorite character of mine that I have created over the years. I've created many, and Cyril was one of my most favorite that I have created, and I just wasn't finished with him when I got to the end of Return to Autumn Part 2. I wanted to have a little bit more to say about Cyril. I wanted to let my readers have a bit more of Cyril, and so I decided that I would write which would be a prequel to the series, because it goes back to Cyril's beginnings, his very, very early beginnings, his birth, the depleted area he was born into. This was just prior to World War One, 1 year before World War One, and in rural England, in a fictional village called South Woodchester, and close to Gloucestershire. And he's born into poverty, and the chances of any kind of a decent future is strictly forbidden. If he had stayed in just my phone ringing here, my message, it'll go to message. And so I wanted to talk about his early beginnings, and as they say, it was such a depleted area that chances of any kind of a future there, a successful future anyway, where you could have the means to be able to grow in life in a successful way, without just living hand to mouth day to day. And Cyril realized this at a very young age, and decides that, come hell or high water, he's going to get out and get to America, where he stood a chance. He discovered his love of horses at a local farm, where he managed to get a job, and didn't even realize the passion and the exceptional talent. It's just like magic. Not everybody has it. To be able to connect with horses and command them and earn their respect, and be able to come together with them in ways that not just anybody can. And that is a true horsemaster that can have that kind of connection with a horse, and to be able to build a successful career of that. And so I'm not going to say too awful much about it, because I don't want to give too much of it away. But needless to say, he gets to America, and through trial and error, one thing after another that he has to encounter. It was not an easy road that he traveled, and so I think he is very deserving of what he ends up managing to obtain, and so I hope that my readers will enjoy that very, very early time with Cyril. It will take, as they say, it takes you from the time of Cyril's birth in 1913 right up to Cyril when he's middle-aged in 1970, when he meets Autumn. And so it was a lot of fun writing it. Once I finally got settled down to the point where I could actually give myself to this project without constant interruptions of one sort of another, one kind or another. And it was just so utterly frustrating for me. I can't even begin to tell you how frustrating it was, because in order for me to write, I can only speak for my own experience and what works for me, as opposed to maybe another author and what best works for them. But for me, I've got to be in the moment. I've got to be in the zone in order to write, at least produce material that I will approve. I've come to know what's good and what is not good. And if I can't feel it, if I can't be in the zone, in the moment, then I know that what I'm putting down, what I'm typing is just not, it's subpar. It's just not acceptable by my own standard, let alone a reader's. And if I can't produce prime material, then I'm not going to produce any material. It's as simple as that. And so when you've got constant interruptions, and I mean these interruptions were things that, I mean, I was pulled into. It wasn't my choice, but still, I'm glad that I could be of help in the way that I was, because these interruptions, I don't know what else to call them, interludes of non-production, maybe. I'm glad that I was able to help where I could and how I could, because it was serious, and it was not called for, and it was not proper, and it was not truthful, and it was trying to ruin a very, very decent person's reputation. And to this day, I would still stand beside him and support however I could, and because this person did not deserve all of the constant uproar, the constant lies, the constant defamatory remarks, and even toward me, myself. And I think, if anything was, when it finally got to court, the judge was so disgusted with what was presented to him, he threw it out. He stayed it and just tossed it out. And that should have happened long before it got that far. But and this person, excuse me, this person who is behind all of this is still, to this day, still needle, lie, and push, anything to bring attention to. Maybe she believes, in her mind, believes what it is that she is constantly spouting, but it did not happen the way she maintains it did, because I saw it, I was there, I witnessed it. And I think it was just, for her, I think it was just boiled down to jealousy and resentment, and there was no need for any of that. And but if you're a true friend to somebody, you don't hurt them like that. And as much as the Lord asks and hopes that we will forgive people, sometimes it is very, very, very difficult to do that when someone has caused you such heartache and such unnecessary aggravation and pain. And just because things maybe took a turn in their life that they didn't want to happen. And so I'm having some coffee, warm for a change. So cheers, everybody. Oh, that's so good. But even if it was to go cold, I would still like it. I've gotten to just love iced coffee. Thank you very much to my eldest granddaughter, Carson, for turning me on to that. I don't know how many calories we consume with each mid iced coffee at Tim's that we get, and I try with an extra pump of cane, which sometimes doesn't always get mixed through the container of coffee very well, and sometimes it's a perfect mix. And I think they stick that extra pump of cane in right before they fill the cup up with the already made coffee. I don't know, but it doesn't get mixed through really, really well when you've got all the ice cubes and stuff in there. But every once in a while I get a really, really A-OK mix. And it's just so good. And so anyway, I don't want to make this video too awfully long because there again, as you know from prior videos, so the longer a video runs, the more maybe trying it can be. Somebody's wanting to hear what you've got to say, but maybe what you're having to say isn't the most interesting for them at that time or whatever, so they leave. And so, you know, I'm slowly learning how to condense what I want to say in the first 15 minutes or so of my video, and without getting too sidetracked, which sometimes I can get, like I just did. But anyway, this coming Sunday is Mama's Day, and I want to wish all my mums out there who follow me and read my work, I want to wish you a very wonderful, lovely Mother's Day to each one of you. And if you're not a mother, I still wish you you can be a mom, maybe not of a human child, but you can be a mom of a nice little kitty or a nice little dog or a horse, and or any animal for that matter. When you are their caregiver and they are dependent on you for survival, you are their mothers, and they love you just as much as a human child. I don't doubt that for a second. I truly believe that animals can feel for a human the same way a human child can feel towards its mother. They love you unconditionally, as you love them unconditionally. And so I don't know what I will be doing with my two sons. I don't know. Usually my eldest son takes me out to lunch or to supper, whichever works for him. And my youngest son oftentimes brings me gorgeous flowers that I can plant in my growing gardens. And sometimes he barbecues. He's a great barbecuer. And so that's the mystery. That's the anticipation of what is to come. I've got I call them hoodwinks. I don't know what. I think they're called stink bugs, actually, because I have been told if they get squashed or something, there's quite an odor about them. I don't know, but they're absolutely harmless. They just buzz around, and I capture them when I can and toss them out the back door, and so they can buzz on and see where the breeze takes them. And so what else can I talk about? Well, yes, I was talking about Mother's Day. my mother. Oh well, just hang with me. I'll go and get Mama's picture. There's such a glare on the light there. I hope that you can sort of see Mama without too much of a glare. My dear, dear Mom, happy Mama's Day coming up. My mother's been gone a full 10 years. It will be 11 years this coming September 18th. You never forget. It grows easier with time, but the hole it leaves never closes, and it's but it does get easier. It's just that you know that she's not here in physical form. She's not where I can actually embrace her and kiss her cheeks and tell her how much she means to me. But I mean, I can that much, how much I love her and how much she means to me. I still tell her. I think about my mother a lot, and it's the special times of the year, like Mother's Day and the different holidays of the year. Christmas Day was my mother's birthday, and so I naturally think about her that day, but she's not very far away, and she's within me, and she's within my now late brother, and our children, my brother's kids and my kids, and their children and their children, and so it goes. And I think it's the way it's meant to be. And so I'm going to close for today. I want to ask each of you to please like this video. Please comment it if you would. I very much enjoy icons and hearts and things like that, but I really would love to hear words. Have something to say to me. And and I'll answer you back. I promise. And please share it around, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please help me to get my numbers up. It's not the easiest thing to do. I don't do YouTube videos for monetary gain. I mean, you have to have thousands upon thousands, millions of viewers, followers, subscribers before you ever make anything to begin with. But that's not why I do them. I just like to be, it's my way of staying in touch in a personal way with my readers and for my followers and supporters and people who interact with me in one way or another. And so to know that you're just on the other side of this screen, it's a nice feeling to know. And so that's why I do these videos. And I just recently put up a new dramatic film short called Altered State, and all based on what possibly could be a dream, what possibly could have happened. And so who knows? Well, none of us know what is out there and what they are capable of doing. I just hope that if I was ever taken, that they would be kind. I don't know, maybe once they got a good look, they would just go, throw this one back. I don't know. But, God created everything. So maybe He created them too. I don't know. And so, but anyway, I do wish God's blessings, his wonderful, endless blessings to each one of you out there. Be well. Stand up. Forgive those whom you can. And love is the only way. Jesus is the only way. And until people can stop and realize that and turn back if you've turned away, or discover him if you have yet to do so, and you will find things in life will get better. Everything has its time, and everything balances out, and everything that is happening today that is so derogatory, so negative, will all wash away because we know who wins in the end. And so, enjoy the rest of your day. This is the 4th, as I say, so may the 4th be with all of you. As my little ones and I say, peace and love be with each one of you. Until I see you again, take care, everybody. Bye for now.